Hello. Good day, everyone. Today we are excited to present our research title, Building a Stronger Word Bank, Remedial Approaches to Improve Learners' Vocabulary Retention and Use. Now, this research is part of our course in Remedial Instruction, ELE160. Our study focuses on helping students who have difficulty in learning, remembering, and using English words. Now, we believe that vocabulary is the key to good communication. And in this project, we created a fun and effective program to help learners improve their vocabulary step by step. Now, to the introduction, vocabulary is one of the most important parts of language learning. Why? Because if we don't know enough words, we can't understand what we read or hear. And also, we also can't express what we want to say. Now, students with weak vocabulary often struggles in class. Now, they can't understand the lesson well, especially in subjects that use English like science or English also. Now, they also feel less confident when speaking or writing. Now, that's why improving vocabulary is not just about English class. It affects every subject and even how students participate in school activities. So our study focuses on helping those students who are left behind because of vocabulary problems. Now, there are three main reasons why we must focus on vocabulary also. Number one is it supports literacy. Now, if students have a rich vocabulary, they can read better, write better, and understand more complex ideas. Now, this helps them in all academic areas. Now, number two was it addresses learning gaps. Now, some students simply forget the words they learn. Others memorize definition but don't know how to use them. And this shows that traditional methods like word lists or drills aren't enough. Number three was the research-based solutions. Now, studies say students learn better when they repeat the words often. See them in context, like in stories or sentences that the teachers teach. And also get involved in activities. Also using technology nowadays, like word games or online dictionaries, makes learning more exciting, especially for today's learners. Now, in our study, we focus on three questions. Can a vocabulary program using repetition and fun activities help students recognize words better? We wanted to know if the students could remember and identify more words after joining the program. And then number two is, how do games and digital activities affect students' interest in learning? Now, learning can be boring for students, so we explored whether fun games and PowerPoint tools can help increase motivation. And also, which part of the program helps students remember and use new words the most? We wanted to find out what really works. Is it recognizing, using, or recalling the words? What strategy should teachers use? Now, for our methodology, we used a method called quasi-experimental design. This means we tested the student before and after the intervention to check if there's improvement. Now, we selected 10 grade 7 students from Miftahus Salam Integrated School. These students were recommended by their teachers because they were struggling with vocabulary. Our vocabulary program had 6 sessions that ran for 14 days, with each session lasting about 30 minutes. The activities included pre-test and motivational games, word recognition games, understanding word meanings in context, creating sentences and stories, word recall through fun board games, and post-test to check if their improvement also. All session tools that were interactive and engaging. Now, we used four important tools in our program. Number one is vocabulary word bank. We created a list of important words based on the students' level and what they already knew. We also used words from Merriam-Webster word games. Now, number two was digital software. The students played games from Merriam-Webster's wordplay, which they could also access at home. This made vocabulary practice part of their free time, not just in school. Number 3 was PowerPoint games. We used interactive games from High Vessel like quizzes and team competition. These games helped lighten the mood and made learning more enjoyable. Number 4 was assessment tools. We gave pre-test and post-test to measure how much the students improve in both recognizing and using vocabulary. And now for the result. Now this table shows the result from session 2. Now word recognition. It tells us how many new words the student could recognize after the program. Here are some highlights. Now most students improved by 3 to 4 points. One student, P8, improved by 6 points, which is a big lift. Now this shows that the word recognition session using puzzles, discussions, and digital games really help students and understand and remember new words better. Even those who started at a very low score made also a big improvements. Now next table is, this table shows the result from session 3, word meaning and context, where students had to understand how words are used in real sentences. Now before the session, many students scored 0 or 1, which means they had no idea how to use the words in context. Now after the program, students like P1, P2, and P10 improved by 5 to 6 points. Now this means they were now able to understand the meaning of words just by reading sentences. Now this is a very important skill, especially for reading comprehension. Now it shows that our contextual approach using word bank, magics, and fill in the blank activities worked well. Now next slide is, this slide ranks the session based on effectiveness. Word use, 86.39%. The most effective here, students used words in their own sentences or stories when students apply these words. Now they remember them better. Number 2 was word recall, 74%. This session was about reviewing the words. Now students enjoyed the board games and still remember the vocabulary. And also the word recognition, 73%. Recognizing words was helpful but not as strong as using them. And then also word meaning and context, 48%. This was the lowest. It shows that students still need more support in learning word meanings just from context. So the takeaway is that more active the learning is, the better the students retain and use words. Yes. Now, to conclude, our 6th session vocabulary program was effective. Alhamdulillah. Now, students improve in recognizing words, understanding them in context, and using them in real sentences. Now, the most effective strategy was the word use, because students learned the best when they created their own sentences. Now, using games and digital tools also helped increase motivation and made the session fun and interactive. Now, this research suggests that teachers should move away from just memorization and traditional way of teaching and instead use active learning and technology and vocabulary instruction. Although we only had 10 students, the results were very promising. We recommend further studies to test this program in different schools or with more students. Thank you so much for watching and listening to our research, and good luck to all. Bismillah.